Oh yeah, it's me. 1 second, I gotta go get the plastic bag. You hear it? Unfortunately, I have the fan on. Some of y'all are already dealing with snow. I'm not dealing with snow yet. I don't think I've ever seen real snow. Only snow I've ever seen is either when I do the bubble ones or they just put stuff made out of ice and then they just you just chip away at it or whatever you want to call it. Yes. Instead of doing content right now, I am going to see if I can talk how I usually talk because I want people to hear what I say because sometimes it's certain I'm like I wish I caught that. So for doing stuff, because usually I have a small amount of stage fright. I'm not talking about theater stage. I'm talking about this type of stuff. Like, who are you talking to? I'm talking to chat because who else is there right now? Well, I can say you talk to, but you can't say him. Well, you know me, you know this channel. That's all I do. But I'm not gonna be aggressive right now. I would share my screen of what I'm doing right now, but I know it's just gonna lag, so and have this big delay. Honestly, I don't even know if I want anybody to see. It's not embarrassing. I mean, it's art. But still, at the same time, do I? Some people are like, oh, sure, you should. It's not because of you, it's because of me. Ah, save that color. Save that color. I love making color palettes. The one thing about me that I learned, I don't do it a lot, but when I do, man, they're super well. You know how they used to say that in old TV shows? They were like, oh, that's lit. Riz fam. I don't know, Skibidi. I remember when Skibidi first showed up on my radar, and I was like, what is this? And then I start seeing the Italian brain rot. And the only reason why I even, put up to even know this stuff is because of smaller members in my family. Because I just want to make sure it's safe. Even if I don't say anything about it to whoever's my cousin or sister or whatever, I still do it because I'm like, it's a good habit to have to preview stuff before you even let a kid watch it. You can't even trust TV like you used to be. I don't even think you could trust it back then, but they weren't trying to it wasn't trying to say, hey kids. They did have creepy stuff now. A while ago, a long while ago, I saw those videos of like those old mascots, like before Barney. So it was like something, some creature or clown thing, and had a big nose and big eyes, but it looked scary. Like think of Ronald McDonald, but if you like stretched out some of the features and exaggerated. Cause that's what I was getting. I was like, oh my gosh, they used to put this up here, and like the old way that the Chuck E. Cheese robots used to look. I'm not gonna say that because I don't want to bring that community in here. All I want to do is just do what I've been thinking about doing for a long time. Oh, windshield. And capture this on video. I hope my voice is clear enough. I do have like the ocean sounds on my TV right now, so if it picks up too much, then just put it in the comments below. It's really not that I can't talk, I just don't. And that was like a big factor me liking the Little Mermaid, the 1989 version, the Little Mermaid. Cause like we're so relatable. I bend rules and create, and it causes them to create new ones. Like as much of like a uppity, like trying to be uppity, sturdy kind of person, I mean, whichever way that is, there are some things that I will question. Like, I'm not gonna be part of the hive mind or whatever. If I hold your feet to the fire, I'm not doing it to be me. It's really to just try and have you sort things out. But I'm not gonna be like one of those, oh, I can fix them type of people. Oh no. No, no, no. If you are familiar and knowing what I believe in, then you know that fixing people is only however that one can. And even if you overcame this obstacle, oh man, there's more. I thought at first I was like, oh, yeah, we got to a good place. That mountain gets steeper. Once you climb the highest peak of Mount Everest is going to turn. And that's going to be even rockier. More like a rodeo. Let me think. The eraser here. Yeah. So all I had to do was just kind of shake that feeling off of not really like speaking to people who are probably listening. Because what I would do is start a live stream and then not really talk or engage. I probably can't engage right now because I am using another application. So all you're hearing is my voice. It's like the Wizard of Oz. There's something funny about that because I took a men and masculinity class, but it was all feminism, I tell you. And it made me think, like, one of the last few things in there was how the Wizard of Oz, not wicked or anything, but how men perceived themselves at the time because Oz was like this great and powerful mystical person that was spoken about very highly, but then once Dorothy and the others got to the corridor or room or layer, whatever you want to call it, then he just turned out to be a man that was just saying that he can do all this and that he was magnificent. So it gave me a really interesting kind of commentary to think about. Now, I'm not going to be doing those commentary videos where they're like, this and this and that. And that. Like I can do some montage, but at most it'll be like 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I'll give you 3 minutes. I know your attention span is not going to be that bad. Unless you're someone who like read books and still reads books. I mean, I read books, but I read like one specific one that's like the most important. I told you I'm not trying to like be a hammer right now. So if you know, you know. Speaking of hammer, sometimes I feel like putting the iron hammer down, but sometimes I don't always know how to go on about it. You know? Because there are some people that are my age that if an older person that's been an adult for more than 2 decades, this or that, you gotta call them. Even if they're not gonna change, at least sow the seeds. Because it's not right to just be thinking. So a lot of us probably got caught up because I thought, oh, everybody that's older it just knows better, and that's right. And whatever is the right is because they're older because they said so. In some cases, like you don't want your kid or grown child falling off a cliff, so or getting to that point looking too far over the ledge. And I'm sure some parents into that because I just gotta learn better leadership, that's all. Because I used to think, I have to explain myself for everything, and that's not the case. If you're going to command something, or I don't know, demand, or say, let's get this done, or let's do this class, you gotta be able to keep it concise. And I appreciate the paragraph sometimes, but you're not getting creative for it. So it's a lose-lose for both sides. I think if you just say it and don't be like doing a preposition to it or sounding like you're human resources. Just be like casual. Cause that's what we become. That's really what we become. Too casual. Too comfortable. I have But then I found a way to be that and also do something that I love. Something that I love. I don't know what my voice. I think I drank water earlier, but it sounds like I need more. Huh? Yeah, we're out here in the desert. Nah, I'm kidding. You wouldn't catch me anywhere in the desert. Even if I resist reacting too much to heat or cold, because I know my mind is stronger than that. A lot of people are like, it's cold, it's hot. Me, I'm like, oh yeah, I feel that, but it's not cold enough to cause hypothermia or kill me. It's not like I'm denying it at all. It's more of a, because some people have that condition where they just don't feel pain. I'm like, when I first learned about that, but I was smaller, so Somali. I was smaller, so it was it wasn't really a big reaction. But now that I think back to all some of the stuff that I'm recalling, I'm sure gonna be like, oh my, who let you do that? There's a character in recent times, not recent times, like recently made, but in a show, Mrs. Well, not the show wasn't called Mrs. Olsen, but she's called Mrs. Olsen. And I'm telling you, I've never seen someone put on such a dramatic act as an actor as much as Miss Olsen from Little House on the Prairie. Oh my goodness. It's over the top, but it's not over the line. And it's, oh my gosh. It's like, she's like, okay, I'll give you an example. I haven't seen too many scenes of her to remember it like that, but she's like, am I fat? And her husband would be like, yes. And she would go, because they own a supply shop or something like that, convenience store. And she would be rolling around, being dramatic, panting and hyperventilating that he was honest with her. And there's a lot, oh my gosh, there's a lot of stuff that he says that's being honest that she just overreacts about. Like, he was like, oh, you're a little plump. I was like, are you calling me fat? And she just, oh man, I wish we could bring back characters like that. Speaking of characters, another thing on my mind was the girl bossing thing. It was this past summer, where Huntrix showed up and dominated a lot of charts for consecutive weeks in the summer. And they're still going. And this gimmick that they're using, not gimmick, but strategy, is to put the actual voice actors out as the real group. Even though they started out animated, I don't think we could have done that in the early Y2K. Which is why, for my generation, I think this is a very special moment in our lifetimes. to actually not see, not Yahtzee, girl bossing to the level we saw it at a few years ago. And what it means is like it's kind of like feminism. Like, remember when I said I took this class, but then it was just all about this. Yeah, so it was kind of like when girls think that they're better than men, and they try to even out the playing field, which for the most part happened in society. I mean, the woman, she can decide if she wants to keep or not keep the baby. And that was what, 1973 to this year? That act? She decides and the man has no say, even though whether he's a deadbeat or not. But something like that. That's definitely privilege right there. So yeah, we've come a long way from the suffrage when you think about it. Although I wouldn't personally categorize myself as a feminist. Why? I don't know. I'm the only reason why I wouldn't is because I never really did in the past. I never had a label or explain myself. When you put a label on yourself and you have to explain it, unless you're like, I don't know, CEO or something in the market, associates director, stuff like that. But I'm not gonna explain myself. And even if I was, I like history a lot, so when that stuff was rising up in the 1920s, people like me, nah, you weren't allowed. They're like, oh, you? And that was like 50 years before integration. You know what I saw again? I saw the Ruby Bridges movie again, and the Little Rock Nine movie. I forgot. Oh, it's called Ernest Green. I try to remember that title. You just have to, if you want to remember something, you just repeat it like a robot over and over again. But I'm not saying just to, you know. Is my voice loud enough? Yeah, it's picking up. Probably should turn this ocean sound down. It's pretty overcast over there. Wow, there's a lot of stuff that was made in StreamYard. I know, I've just been going on. But this is usually how I am. I hope I make myself laugh soon. I certainly do in the mirror. Who doesn't want to laugh? Like last night? Well, actually, no, not even last night. It was already 12 in the morning. Somebody made me laugh. Because imitation is the best form of flattery. So he sent this, and I sent the same thing, and then sent something that was like the two Spider-Men pointing at each other. And man, I it was like the force choke in Star Wars. Because I was laughing, but I also felt like my neck was like non-existent. like you know how fish are when they get out of the water and they can't breathe and all that. Like I can breathe, but I was also gasping for air. So it was fun. I was like, dude, you're funny. And I went to bed, and I just like going to bed already laughing at something. That's another thing I want to bring up is the trash talking. Yeah, I know I've had my times that I've certainly overdid it, but I've settled now and I'm like, okay, kind of fun. It's kind of fun when you do that. I bet. I keep hearing every day I wake up and people are waking up earlier now. And it's not even because of the daylight savings, I don't think. I think they just generally whatever want to be up at 4:30 in the morning. Or like I don't know, using sawdust. It's like we're not on a farm. There are no chickens so we get up. There's no rooster. That's sad. Some chickens like they'll keep the egg laying hens, but they won't keep the boys to grow up. And then I've seen it. It was in another class, and they just sort them out. And then there's another thing that just made me so sad when they were de-beaking the chicks, which basically meant like getting rid of the pointy part of a little chicken's beak, and they were like little soft yellow, and I feel like it doesn't grow like I don't think their beaks grow like our nails do. So it was like when they get older, they just look like flat, like flat lipped or something, flat beak. And so it didn't scare me, but it did like invoke some kind of emotion, I guess. Like I guess there's cruel ways to take care of livestock. And then there was another thing. I can recall it so vividly because I was astonished myself when people were crying because they were selling their cows that grew up, and they had the number wasn't on the cow, the number was on the person. So if you were 71, if the number picked the 71, then yeah, like it's really on you. I didn't know people got attached to cows like that. Like I know people keep them as pets, and I've seen YouTube channels where a lady or a man would show like washing the cow. Those were Highland cows. What these people were something were like actual like livestock that could either be for milk or beef burgers. Now, I like burgers. I mean, to anyone who's not vegan, of course. Wow. But I like mine plain. Is that crazy? I've always liked my burgers plain. Just the beef and the cheese. But when I think of burgers, for some reason my mind always goes to McDonald's. And I think so many of us have been conditioned to think that McDonald's is the only one that has like those superior burgers, but it's really not how. Hurt my hand. It's really not the case when you think about it. Because in recent times, there was this, of course, it was packaged and frozen and stuff. But once I cooked them, or cooked them on a skillet, they were mighty good. I can't remember if I seasoned them or not. I'm sure I did, but it seemed like some of them were already frozen and seasoning. I don't remember the brand name. If you get something like 4 times in a grocery store, I remember it by then, but 1 or 2 times, I'm probably not going to remember it. I would have to keep repeating it over and over again in my mind. Which is not too much of a hassle. It's just brain power takes time. Should I go on about this part? And I'm tired of all the reboots. I mean, how many times are they gonna bring back the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? And not bad. I got caught up in something. Let me check stuff. Yep, see? It started. That's the type of stuff I do. And it never ends. Some people have that croaky voice or they sound like this, like Kim Kardashian. I lost my earring. If she was really there that time, she shouldn't be losing the entire earring or the back to the earring. You know what I mean? Your earring should be able to hold together all that money you have. What would I do if I had that amount of money? I would certainly try my best to give. Like once all my whatever's are taken care of, then I'm gonna see who wants to have fun, who wants this for that. Cause yeah, we all come predisposed or whatever. This is what. Oh my gosh! Here I go. Here I go. Well, here I go saying what a pastor said. Like we all know how to say mine. Like it's mine when we're younger, and we think it's the only amount. That, unless you're like already wealthy and you would just inherit that, but from most people I know, just making it by bacon. I used to eat a lot of bacon for breakfast and stuff back then. I'm saying back then like it was 40 years ago. That's how the new generation is making us 20-year-olds. Because when the millennials and stuff were doing Vine and stuff 10 years ago, we weren't calling them old and unk and uncle and all that. It was more so, okay, that's them, that's their generation, and then there's us, our generation. But now they think it's okay to call someone in their 20s old. And like I know we had our okay boomer stuff, but the boomers were at least in their 40s or something, maybe 10 years ago. Not their 40s. I mean, in the nicest, in the kindest way, already wise. As you know. I would say this. They've already been seasoned in life already by the time we were even saying that. So they've already had their children that probably had children that are their grandkids. So when we were saying that, it wasn't like people just starting off in reality. You get what I mean? But what these little whippersnappers do is say, you're in your 20s, you're old. You're in that category. It's like, no. We're just starting out somewhere just barely 15, 20 years ahead of you. Drives me insane. These are Cocomelon people. Oh, not even Cocomelon. The Italian brain rot people. And some of the songs that they're making for these brain rots, I wish they were not unleashed. Never unleashed. But the old Creekcraft, that, is kind of like their personalities. These new Roblox YouTubers. Well, actually, he's probably not new, but he's very prominent. Prominent. I don't know what I was gonna say. This year, over Flamingo or Albert stuff, because 10 years ago, I was watching Albert's stuff, and then he changed to Flamingo. But yeah, that's kind of crazy. Let me erase that. That's the thing about these kind of things. Sometimes you get wise in your youth years, and I definitely do feel for those who have gone through a lot of problems, and I'm very proud of those who overcame it and move away from it, if it's one of those things. I keep thinking someone's in here, because there's a lot of noises and it sounds like stomping. But I think it's the washing machine and dryer. Because I put my pillows there. Because I love my pillows. No, I definitely hear something. I just hope the ceiling doesn't collapse on me. You heard it here. You heard it here. I don't know what I should do about this. Orange? I would share the screen for that, but it just delays it in my browser or whatever. So sorry. I'm learning the language. No, I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh, if you heard my nostrils just now, I'm just trying to breathe. Because when something excites me, I will gasp. So tough. Oh yeah, somebody is here. That's annoying. I always hear dogs barking out there. I think I need water again. What did I do? Oh, okay. It went away. Man, I've been at this. Get my water again. Just rediscovering old Christmas gifts and stuff. Somebody made a really interesting point that it's more about baby Jesus. But yeah, somebody's here. Oh my goodness. I wish I had something more similar to a baseball bat. I just have plastic katanas. Can't show them right now, but here's one, here's the other. I think they're 3D printed. And they tap like that. ASMR. Anyone? I don't know what I'm gonna do for a thumbnail. Let me check. I really do like Papa's Cupcakeria game. I tried to do the donut one, but it was difficult, and they kept burning one. Too tough. Not too tough for me, but I'm saying it was like it was complicated because what you get judged harshly on in that game is the wait time. So however long somebody had to wait to get that donut or that burger or something, it's all gonna be judged. But once you see that blue go to like 87 or 65, like that's the long you made someone wait like 15 minutes for a donut. Like the thing I say about Dunkin' Donuts is I don't really like how those donuts are all like out in the open on a display. Because when you put bread out or chips out and it gets exposed to oxygen, it turns what is it, stale. It turns into croutons basically. So for those to be out there, it doesn't frustrate me. It's just I'm just thinking about it right now. It's weird. It's kind of odd, if you ask me. Then there's this other thing where they'll throw so many of them away and just put them in a big garbage bag. And maybe sometimes people would do a dumpster dive and eat them. And then I'm like, what's the point? It's like, so yeah, that kind of gets me. And now I haven't been in a Krispy Kreme enough to know how they do it. Because when I think of donuts, I think of either Dunkin' Donuts or Krispy Kreme. Because those are like the to-go places for donuts. It's funny. America runs on Dunkin'. I guess so. I mean, I've never heard anything about going bankrupt or anything, so I'm not one of those people who check the stocks either. Which I probably should now these days that I'm older, because I could be taking advantage of the time and getting experience and investing and all that stuff. See, I don't even know. And one thing I wish I could improve is my level of geography. Now, I can sit there and be an autodidact. Is it autodidact or autodidact? The meaning is that you're self-taught and you teach yourself how to do something. Like, if somebody really just wanted to play the piano and she taught herself how to play and there was no teacher involved, she's let me make sure I got it right. Auto. I've heard this word before, I think. Oh yeah, autodidact. Yeah, a self-taught person. See, I checked the Google. Google. I don't know why I said it like that. Google. Google. Oh, blah, 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 blah. My bad. I was messing around with one of the buttons. Okay, well, I get that. I know I sounded like I was gonna do the outro. I probably should have did that. Psych. Just put this on. You know how some YouTubers when they start out they're like, "Hey guys, it's me." Like they sound like Penguin Zero, Penguins. Oh, however you say it. Like, hey guys, it's me. And today the goldfish of prominent member. Like how they do that, but low energy. Like, hey guys, today we're gonna be doing a let's play. And it's also nostalgic too because that's how some people just started off. They weren't as enthusiastic as they are now. And a lot of YouTubers that I watched in the past now have children of their own. So just think about it because a lot of people are like, oh, they raised us first and now they're raising their own. And it kind of seemed like that. But it's a little different now. I think what's raising them is not even their parents. Some people are, but if we're seeing this large amount of people that can't read, then it means that the parent isn't doing their job, top of their job. And another thing is some Gen Z I've seen, some people in my generation I've seen them have people my age, like the older half, have children, but for the most part, like me, I'm not thinking about that right now. I'm being like free run. Like I want to because of different things. I'm not saying this would be like a girl boss or feminist. I told you I'm not one of those or that. But to find out what I like and all that. But I'll settle down. I mean, people's grandparents, or should it be no? It's the grandparents, unless like you had children earlier in your life. But my grandparents in the 60s, people that were born in maybe the late 40s, post World War II, were able to just get employed, do that for a certain amount of hours, then get a house, and then they would just have a whole bunch of children. And like the economy, the inflation and stuff was different back then. But also, I always give props to my generation for not like letting us, like as a collective, our overall attitude, and I'm not talking about attitude like bad attitude, but what we're thinking is we don't want to be doormats or anything. And yes, you've had some people that back then that were outspoken and stuff, but what I'm saying is the authenticity returning or being wanted in society. Some people that are set probably going to be set in their ways for life. But I've even noticed in me that I don't want to be stepped over. I don't want to be treated like I should only be, what is it, children should be seen and not heard or something like that. And not saying just to like interrupt and interject everywhere, but yeah, like somebody's giving you a hard time. I mean, we were the ones who had all those commercials growing up that said, "Stop bullying, speak up." And then people get surprised when we actually do that. Incredible. And I didn't even think of that before. Now I remember because Cartoon Network had a lot of stuff like that. It's like speak up, stop bullying, this and that. Sometimes people bully because they're having problems and they don't have outlets, but taking them on you and project that stuff. Yeah, think about it. Oh, well, I think that was the dryer that went off. The alarm. No, the musical one. I certainly memorized it. Seems like people like to put me by the dryer. Much before, a long time ago, the dryer was nowhere near the rooms. It was more so in the garage. And the overall impression is I did not live all this life to grow up and become an adult and reach adulthood, to want to start off somewhere, to be stepped on and be treated as a doormat, or just being straight up told, "Oh, you can't do this because your age and your generation is new and don't know how you are." Like, yeah, there's some things that, like, generally on TikTok, which I don't have, which is surprising because I've never given into downloading it or even seeing it that way. Now YouTube Shorts showed up. Ah. Hmm. Yeah, someone's looking at me here. I'm gonna get my katana. There's a black one and there's a pink one. I think they're the same stuff. No, I think the pink one. Oh no. They're the same. Yeah, they're the same size. I just prefer the black katana. I don't know who's here. I don't know who's trying to do a home invasion. But I'm the wrong person. You still like people messing with you? You still not speak up? There were some people here were like that too. Were gullible and believed everything that adults said. Well, these days, do the research for yourself. I don't want to see you have to go through too many gotcha moments in your adult life where it's like, what? I didn't know that. I was this and that. Try to minimize the amount of time you say, I didn't know that. Even if you're not doing chemistry and all that. Even outside of that. Like, know something. You gotta be able to impress them with something that they never heard. Or analyze a perspective. Like, wow, I never thought of it that way. And it's better that way than to just be like Patrick from SpongeBob. It's not dumb, it's just not knowing anything. Wouldn't you like to impress someone with something you know that they probably don't know? Or what's even more impressive is you start saying something about this and that, and then they start talking about it, and then they have like a lot more information about it that you've never heard of. Something like that. It's not interesting. Yep, somebody is here. So, probably gonna go soon. Let me just get this last part. share this. I don't know, I just thought about doing it. So I did that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, bye-bye.